the park, Morgan, where everybody gets nervous because we're waiting for him to pat his head. At 2,000 feet, we want his feet to touch the ground when you stop singing. That's the home run in the airshow business. Okay.
Way too much pressure.
Grandma, you ready with your flag? Meemaw's down there trying to figure out where to look. Straight up, Meemaw. There you go. Get ready. Here we go.
Stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wave those flags, Long Island. There you go. Bring them in. Come on, Long Island. Look at the size of that flag. Wow! Isn't that incredible?
United States Navy. Watch this time. We got a surprise for you. Keep your eyes peeled. Long Island Larry.
Whoa! Wow, that was crazy, right?
Aaron Dellieu. Look at him having
Look,
a
Levi.
there
Look at the stunts.
with the Golden Knights hopping out of the plane themselves. Isn't that cool?
Of course, look at him go. They trained for this. Golden Knights told me yesterday they went and had a special training for him to be able to do what he's doing in the sky right now.
Wow.
Are you having fun? Strong Island. I love it. That's it. Strong Island.
That's gonna stick.
Right from the marks up here. I'm telling you what, Strong Island, we know it. Aaron Dellieu knows it. Look at him now upside down. Richard Wright is having a great time. Breaking it in a little bit, getting his wings underneath him here for Long Island's big air show. And I'm telling you what, there's nothing bigger than the four-leaf air show.
Wow.
There we go.
He came down here last night to watch the fireworks.
I know.
As American as apple pie, even though he's an Aussie.
He's getting ready to be an American. Becoming a naturalized citizen here. And a new dad on the way. Pulling up into the vertical. You gotta meet this guy when you get down here later today. When he's here, you gotta come up and meet him.
I'm surprised you haven't talked about how handsome he is.
Well, don't look directly into his eyes. Watch him now as he parks that little extra right there in the sky. It starts off with an impossible maneuver there, the torque roll, and he's bringing it back. How on earth do you do that in an airplane? We'll find out a little bit later on today. With Aaron Dellieu, the Golden Knights getting ready. They're down there. Good morning. There's C-130. The ramp is down. Hanging off the back, waving at you, and I can see him from here. Look at that, the Loadmaster in the back. The C-130 on the climb from right here in New York at the 106. Which is really
I actually enjoy that. That is so neat.
Yeah, it is cool, especially with a helicopter. Now look at the Loadmaster back there, the crew chief and Loadmaster hanging out on the ramp. You see it back there? Look at
Strapped in
it.
right now.
The day at the beach. Yeah. You know, when we were kids, come in this.
It's hard to understand how much that has been released, because from our vantage point, of course, it's very stable. It is definitely a precision maneuver to execute in flight.
And they gotta get even closer. Let's see. We will do like did in that incredible moment in history where they literally stood up and fought back tyranny. It was Team EM, again, that turned the tide at the Downward Midway. Here it is, flown today by Nick Ceroli, whose father, Nick Sr., you're an RC airplane guy or gal, then you know that name. You see the stories that these airplanes tell from the American Air Power Museum. They tell the story of those incredible men like Bud Anderson, who flew these airplanes. And I could go on and tell you about the last living triple ace of World War II, but I'll tell you what, it'd be a whole lot better if we could just bring him here. The only problem is we lost Bud a few years ago, but I want you to hear his voice anyway. The late, great Bud Anderson, our last triple ace who passed away. Here he is talking about that time he flew P-51. Take a listen.
So I see the last guy, the last ME-109 starts climbing, and he starts, saying, well, if I close up underneath him, he can drop down on us. So I sent my second element, Eddie Simpson and his wingman. I said, you chase him, and I'll go after the three. He did, and he shot him down, and then we join up later. Now we got 3 ME-109s and 2 Mustangs. The last guy, I simply drive up behind him. This is the classic way you get a kill. Close it in, no angle off. He's not doing anything. I drive up behind him, get him close range, give him a good burst, got hits all over. Then he did something incredible. He rolled over and pushed up, flying upside down. And I thought, well, what the hell is he doing this for? Maybe he thought I'd roll over and fall out. But I'm sitting there right side up very comfortably, and then so I said, hey, too bad. I can give him another good burst of shell. Got really good hits. And then he started smoking very badly and then fell off. I could tell, he was just out of control. Nobody at the controls that go down.
Chilling words describing air-to-air combat. The last living triple ace, our friend Bud Anderson. How about Punchy Pal, who flew 16 missions? And during the invasion of Normandy, listen to his description.
I flew 3 missions on D-Day, 16 hours. Mostly, that was ground support, mostly. The first mission was to keep German airplanes from getting to the beaches. We had 1,000 fighters up, counting the British fighters. We had 1,000 fighters in the air. We formed a roll of airplanes from 30,000 feet to the deck. Well, my most memorable mission was strafing a German airfield.
See them collapse into 7-hour. Making an apex at about 6,000 feet, slowing to 120 miles an hour, and getting their first chance to have a look back at you all on the beach. As the jets twist round to the right, they're led by wing of John Bond. He's in his 3rd year leading the team with an impressive 8 seasons of display flying with Red Arrows, making him one of the most experienced Red Arrows display pilots ever. Just 8 feet away on his right hand side is flight tech Rob Thomas. He's a former Eurofighter type female pilot and has also been on exchange with the Saudi Air Force, teaching their pilots to fly on the Hawk T-165. Moving as one. They're doing that by listening to the cadence of the team leader, not by looking at him. On the left-hand side, Red 3, Lieutenant Andy McEwen. As the jets head skyward again, when they're on the formation, the pilots are all taking their references from the team leader. You'll see the shape change into Eagle. ball around the outside of the spoke. Keep watching for the colour change as they come to the right.
Nah.
Ourselves on. Keep watching to the front for the 3-4 split. Out to the left, this is Reds 1, 2 and 3. Reds 4, 5, 6 and 7 out to the right. The 4 jets to the right and left by Red 6, Lieutenant George Hopday. He's a former Typhoon pilot and is in his first year leading the Synchro path. This is the first of a few passes in the second half where the jets go head to head. There's no GPS trickery, this is entirely done with match flying and visual separation. Making sure that they have to be totally confident in their abilities to execute. Drawing a snake-like roll through the sky, this is Serpent. Once again, all those references to everybody on Long Island and Jones Beach.
They ran out of ink.
Red 4 completes the spear. Red. They're closing within just a few feet of the not the easiest day today with the horizons being pretty murky, but they're going to be working hard as they come back towards the beach for the final pass. 6, Red Arrows.